See, screen is visible to everyone. Okay, good afternoon, friends. So today we will start with the unit number 4, that is diesel and gas turbine power plant. Okay, so in this topic, today we will discuss about the applications, then components of diesel power plant, then different systems of diesel power plant and plant layout, then advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so this is the syllabus for unit number 4. So here you can see that is today we will be studying application, components, okay, up to disadvantages, then numerical treatment of diesel power plant. So this part we will discuss tomorrow. Then after that we will have to study gas turbine power plant. So here again layout, so you can feel that in every topic you have to study the layout, like in thermal power plant, okay, like in hydroelectric power plant, nuclear power plant and all, and same way you have to study environmental impact. So environmental impact of thermal power plant, then hydroelectric power plant, so now diesel power plant. So these layout and environmental impact, so they will be there in every topic. Okay, so here we will see the introduction of diesel power plant. So diesel power plant, a generating station in which diesel engine is used as a prime mover for generation of electric energy, is known as diesel power station. Okay, so mainly here in diesel power plant, the working medium we will be using as the diesel. Okay, so mainly here we will be using the diesel, and the what will be the prime mover. So prime mover here will be the diesel engine. So diesel engine is used as a prime mover. Okay, then what is the power range? So power range, so the power range here, power range will be 2 to 50 megawatt, 2 to 50 megawatt. And diesel power stations, so they are favored when the demand of the power is less, that is sufficient quantity of coal and water is not available. Okay, so diesel power plant we will not be using it as a main power plant. So whenever there is power cut off in coal based power plant, or in the water based, that is in the hydroelectric power plant. Okay, so that time we will be using the diesel power stations. Okay, so this will be used as an emergency power station. That is only the slide we are discussing, that they are used as a standby set for continuous supply, such as hospitals, radio stations, then cinema theater. So whenever there is power cut off here, so we will be using it as we will be using the diesel plant. Okay, so here we can see the picture. Then what are the advantages of diesel power plant? So main thing is that the design and layout of the plant, they are quite simple. So the design and layout is simple. Then not unless like hydroelectric power plant and nuclear and thermal power plant, so the space, the space here is less, so it occupies less space. Okay, and it can be located at any place. That means diesel plant we can also easily transport. Okay, that it can be easily located at any place. Then it can be started quickly and can pick up load in a short time. Okay, like in other plant whatever till now we have studied, so for them we have the construction stripe, we have to build for many years, then after that power generation is done. But in diesel power plant it is started very quickly. Then diesel power plant, it requires less quantity of water for cooling, because the unit is only 2 megawatt to 50 megawatt, so the quantity of water used will be also very less. Then overall cost is much less as compared to the steam power plant of the same capacity. Then the thermal efficiency of the plant is higher as compared to the other power plants. Then it requires the less operating staff, that is the whatever the manpower is required, it is very less. Okay, so these are some of the advantages of the diesel power plant. Then if we go to the disadvantages, so the plant, it has the higher running cost because the fuel used is costly. So fuel used here will be the diesel. So we know that what is the price of diesel now, so that's why the cost of fuel is very high. Then the plant, it does not work satisfactory under overload conditions for longer period. So we can't use this diesel power plant for the longer period. Okay, so only shorter period, that is we can use this as the emergency source, but not continuous supply cannot be there in the diesel power plants. Then the plant can only generate small power, so already we have seen, so its power generation will be limited, that is up to 2 megawatt to 50 megawatt. Then the cost of lubrication, it is high. Okay, so the that parts will be there, so that's why we will whatever the lubrication here required is the, it will be very high. And again the time to time maintenance has to be done here, so that maintenance cost is also very high. So diesel power plant we have seen some advantages is also there and also some disadvantages. Okay, so if we come to the applications, so where we use this diesel power plant, so they are used as a central stations for small power supplies. Central stations for small power supplies, that means if we are having one thermal power plant and there only the substation we will be using the diesel power plants. Then they can be used as a standby plants to hydrodynamic plants and power plants in case of an emergency. So we can also use this as the standby power plants in case of there is power shortage in case, so we can use this diesel power plant as the standby plants. And they can be also used as a peak load plants in combination with thermal or hydro power plants. So then one more important application is that they are suitable for mobile power generations and are widely used in transportation systems such as automobiles, railways and ships. Okay, so here in ships and all marine, there we can use this diesel power plant because the transportation will be very easy. So till now we have seen about the advantage, disadvantage and the application of the diesel power plant. Okay, so now let us see the layout, how is the layout of the diesel power plant. Okay, so the picture shows the layout of the power, that is the diesel power plant. Okay, so here we can see the emergency diesel is there. Okay, earthing grid is here, and we are auxiliary units are here. Okay, then from this is the control room. From here we can control the all the units such as the diesel engine, then the transformers and all. Okay, so this is the typical layout. So here the engine will be there. You can see that is UPS system, then DC system, then station service switchgear, station service transformer. Okay, likewise these are the units. So same way this we are having here, and whatever the electricity produced is taken here, that is high voltage switch yard. Then from here the electricity will be taken to the consumers. Okay, so this is the typical layout how the diesel. So we are not discussing about the diesel plant here, only we are discussing about the layout. Okay, if you see the general layout how the diesel engine power plant, उसमें क्या रहता है. Okay, so there fuel storage tank will be there. Fuel storage tank means what? Here that is our diesel will be there. Okay, so from fuel, then it will be taken through the filter. So here whatever the debris, contaminants is there, so that will be cleaned by using the filter. Okay, so then pump will supply the diesel. Okay, so then it will go to the day tank. Okay, so from the day tank the diesel will be going to the diesel engine. So this complete setup is the diesel engine. Okay, so diesel engine, then it will be shaft. This is the shaft. Okay, from here it will be connected to the generating motor. Then here we are also having the air filter. Okay, so because air and fuel mixture has to be done, so again if air will be entering, so for that we have the air filter, so that again whatever the atmospheric air is there, it has to be cleaned. Okay, then here we are having the fuel injection pump. Then out of the left out unburned fuel, so it will be going through the silencer. Then here we are having the air compressor. So air compressor, it will supply the compressed air. Okay. Then we are having the for lubrication. We are using the lubrication oil tank. Okay, so that for the supply of the oil we require the oil pump. Then here from the cooling tower, that is raw water pump will be supplied to the heat exchanger. Okay, in this way this cycle will be completed. That is raw water pump to heat exchanger, then to the cooling tower. So this coolant, that is the coolant is used. So normally we know that there are two types of cooling, that is air cooling and water cooling. So here coolant will be used, that is as the water will be used as the coolant, and oil is there, oil will be used as the lubrication for lubrication purpose. Okay, so in this way this is the general layout of the diesel engine power plant. So there are so many components we are using, so that's why the maintenance cost here will be very high. Okay, let us see what are the important elements, that is components of the diesel power plant. Okay, so if we go, then starting will be the starting system, how for the starting of the engine. Okay, then air intake system, then fuel supply system. So fuel supply system means from here the fuel will be coming, then exhaust system, then cooling system, and lubrication system, and next is the governing system. So all these things we can come to know from this डायग्राम, दैट इज फ्यूल स्टोरेज टैंक है, यहाँ से सप्लाई हो रहा है, तो ये क्या होगा, फ्यूल सिस्टम है. देन starting air tank and air compressor, this will be the air intake system. Then lubricating oil pump and the oil cooler, so these combine the lubrication system. Then silencer जो है silencer, then jacket water pump, so these combine the exhaust system. Okay, so this we will discuss in detail. Okay, so starting system में क्या होता है, the function of the system is to start the engine. Okay, start the engine from cold by supplying the compressed air at 17 bar from an air tank that is admitted into few cylinders, making them work like reciprocating air motors to run the engine shaft. Okay, so how the starting of the system will be done, so starting of the system will be done by using the compressed air which is supplied from the compressor at about 17 bar. Okay, at about 17 bar, and which will be present at the air tank, and that air from the air tank, air will be admitted to the cylinders of the diesel engine. So then after that fuel is injected into the remaining cylinders, and then the ignition is done in the normal way, causing the engine to start. Okay, so in this way the engine will start. Okay, so then next is the engine system. So generally we know that engine is classified as the 2-stroke engine and 4-stroke engine. Okay, so in the diesel engine, air is admitted into the cylinder and it is compressed. Okay, then at the end of the compression stroke, fuel is injected. Okay, then the burning gas expand and does the work on the piston. Then the gases are then exhausted from the cylinder. So here we can see the diagram, that is first induction stroke, compression stroke, then third is the injection, that is working stroke, and fourth is the exhaust stroke. Okay, how the fuel comes in and how there is the expansion. Okay, then finally the gases, that air is left out to the exhaust. Okay, so this happens in the engine. So we will generally use 2-stroke or and 4-stroke engines. Okay, then next is about the air intake system. Okay, so air intake system, it conveys fresh air through a pipes or ducts to the air intake manifold. Okay, so the supercharger inlet of the, that is air from the pipe, it is going to the air intake manifold, then to the supercharger inlet of a supercharged engine. Okay, then we are also using air filter. Air filter is used to remove the dust from air which is taken by the engine. Then the supercharger is used to increase the pressure of the air supply. So supercharger purpose is to increase the pressure. Then air is drawn through the filter to catch the dirt particles that may cause excessive wear in cylinder. Okay, so we have to take care that whatever the they should not catch fire in the cylinders. Normally filters we will be using, filters will be of two types, that is dry type and wet type. So dry type we can have the paper, cloth, etc., and in the wet type, that is oil impingement type, where oil helps to catch the particles. Then is the fuel supply system. Okay, so fuel supply system, it includes the storage tank, then fuel pump, fuel transfer pump, strainers and heaters. Okay, so what happens here, the pump draws the diesel from a storage tank through the filter to a day tank. Okay, then the day tank is usually placed high, so the diesel flows to the engine under gravity. So the whatever the place of day tank, it will be high as compared to the diesel engine, so that the diesel easily flows to the engine under gravity. Then diesel is filtered before being injected into the engine by the fuel injection pump. So fuel injection pump is required to inject the diesel to the engine. Okay, so then we are having the fuel supply system. Here only the system this system perform the following function, that is mainly filter the fuel. Okay, so what we are doing in the fuel supply system, we are filtering the fuel, then we are metering the correct quantity of fuel to be injected. Okay, so that means how much quantity of the fuel will be injected, so that can be metered by using the fuel supply system. Then time the injection process, then we can regulate the fuel supply, regulation of fuel supply will be done here. Then distribute the atomized fuel properly into the combustion chamber, so that is proper mixing of the air and fuel has to be done in the combustion chamber. Okay, then next about the exhaust system. So this includes the silencers and connecting ducts. Okay, so the what are the exact exhaust gas is there when it is removed, that is exhausted. So we require the silencers from which that removed that unburnt gases will be gone. Okay, then exhaust gases coming out of the engine is noisy. Okay, so that to avoid that noise, again we have to use that silencers. So silencer, we know that it is used to reduce the noise. Okay, so exhaust pipe leading out of the building should be in the short length with minimum number of bends to provide as low as pressure as the loss is possible. Okay, so whatever the exhaust system we will be using, the length of the pipe, it should not be like we should not use bends and all. Okay, so it should be straight, so that whatever the losses is there, pressure losses, it will be minimum. Okay, so in this diagram we can see the silencer. So silencer, that is 35 decibel, 45 decibel, that is output is there. Okay, so normally that noise we will measure in terms of decibel. Then here in this diagram we can see the intake and exhaust gas system. Okay, in the exhaust system we can see, so diesel engine is here. So diesel engine, we are having the exhaust manifold. Okay, then from here the expansion joint is there. Then from here the air will go to the silencer, and then the gases are going out. So we can see the that is the diagram of the that is ducts. Okay, so you can see the ducts here, and this is the diesel engine. So okay, so same view we can see here. So this is the exhaust pipe. Okay, so then next is the cooling system. So the cooling system, it consists of the water source, pump and cooling towers. Okay, so all this you can have the similarity between, like जब आपने thermal power plant पढ़ा था, ठीक है, so same, then you have studied the nuclear power plant and all. So जो भी वहाँ पे भी intake system रहता है, air intake system, then cooling system रहता है. So cooling system will be there for all the power plants. So here what happens, the pump circulates water through the cylinder and head jacket. The water takes away heat from the engine and it becomes hot. The hot water is cooled by the cooling towers and recirculated for cooling. Okay, so what happens here, the temperature of the burning fuel in the engine cylinder is about 2750 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this much temperature is there inside, so the cooling will be very much necessary. So in order to lower the temperature, water is circulated around the engine. So the water envelopes, that is water jacket, will be used, water jacket. Then the heat from the cylinder, piston, combustion chamber, etc. is carried by the circulating water. Okay, so the hot water leaving the jacket, it is passed through the heat exchanger. Then the heat from the heat exchanger is carried away by the raw water, circulated through the heat exchanger and is cooled in the cooling system. Okay, so here we can see, so this is our engine. Then jacket water, so it is going to the oil cooler. Okay, then here the heat recovery unit is there. Then this is the customized heat exchanger. So cooling system, they are of two types, that is air cooling and liquid cooling. So what happens in the air cooling? So heat is carried away by the air flowing over and around the cylinder. So air will be flowing over and around the cylinder. Then best example of the air cooling is like we are using the fins. Okay, so fins are added on the cylinder, which provides the additional mass of material for conduction, okay, as well as the additional area for convection and radiation mode of heat transfer. So if we use the fins, then that is will be the example of the air cooling. Then second type of cooling is the liquid cooling. Okay, so what happens in the liquid cooling? The cylinder walls and the head are provided with the jackets through which the cooling liquid can circulate. Okay, so the heat is transferred from the cylinder walls to the liquid by conduction and convection. Okay, so here we can see the diagram. So here what happens, the pump, it circulates the water through the jacket to cool the cylinders. So then is about the lubrication system. So it includes the oil pump. Lubrication system में क्या होता है? It includes the oil pumps, then oil tanks, oil filters, then coolers and connecting pipes. The purpose of the lubrication system is to reduce the wear of the engine moving parts. Okay, so because in the engine we know that there will be many moving parts. Okay, to avoid the friction, what we have to use? We have to use the lubrication system. Then part of the cylinder such as piston, shafts, walls must be lubricated. So the lubricant is cooled before recirculation. Okay, so since if we are doing the lubrication, that time whatever the oil is there, it should be cooled, because in the engine the temperature is very much high. So lubrication, it also helps to cool the engine. Okay, so purpose lubrication का मतलब oil क्या है? It is used for cooling also and for the lubrication also. What are the important functions of the lubrication system? Okay, so in the lubrication what happens? It keeps parts sliding freely past each other, thereby reducing the friction and wear. Okay, so we are reducing the friction and wear by using the lubrication. Then cooling, in the lubrication system also it is doing the cooling, that is it keeps the surface cool by taking away part of the heat caused by the friction. Okay, that means the surface is cooled. Then cleaning, so it keeps the bearing and piston rings clean. Then it provides the sealing, so it form a good seal between the piston rings and cylinder walls. Then If the friction is not there, then the noise will be also reduced. So reduce the noise of the engine by absorbing the vibration. So all this thing can be done by using the lubrication system. Okay, so then finally we have to, since diesel engine it will be running with high speed, so we have to control the speed of the diesel engines. Okay, so what is the function of the governing system? The function of the governing system is to maintain the speed of the engine. Okay, so mainly what we have to do, we have to control the speed of the engine. So this is done generally by varying fuel supply to engine according to the load. So that means how can we control? If we vary the fuel supply, okay, that means if we vary the quantity of fuel supply, that time we can reduce or we can increase the speed of the engine. So this can be achieved by using the governors. Okay, then supercharging. So we know that the apparatus used to increase the air density is called as the supercharger, and supercharger, it is similar to the compressor, that is generally centrifugal type compressor. Okay, so which provides greater mass of charge with same piston displacement. The purpose of supercharging is to raise the volumetric efficiency. The engine in an air pump, it increases the air consumption, which permits greater quantity of fuel to be added and results in greater potential of output. Okay, so the output obtained is almost directly proportional to the air consumption. So what happens if we are using the supercharger? It increases the volumetric efficiency and it increases the air consumption and increases the output. Okay, so we will get the greater output. So three methods are there to increase the air consumption. They are by increasing the piston displacement, or second one is the running the engine at higher speeds, then increasing the density of this charge. Okay, so if we use these three methods, we can increase the air consumption. And there are also some effects of using the supercharger. So it provides the better mixing of air fuel mixture due to turbulent effect. Okay, so there will be the good air fuel mixture. Then the temperature of the charge will be raised as it is compressed, therefore resulting in higher temperature within the cylinder. Okay, so in this way we completed the diesel engine power plant elements, then advantages, disadvantages and all. So thank you. So now we will discuss in detail.